At dawn on the 2nd of April 1982, Argentine special forces landed in the Falklands capital Stanley, intent on capturing British Governor Rex Hunt and claiming sovereignty of the islands. The only opposition was a small detachment of fewer than 70 Royal Marines, known as Naval Party 8901. A group of these men now had to try and defend the storming of the seat of British rule, Government House.
There was a phenomenal amount of fire and a phenomenal amount of explosions.
Putting a few rounds up the hill. If you see movement, take a shot.
Lots of noise, lots of firing, lots of tracer coming over your head.
And then all of a sudden there was a great big bang outside Government House. And I thought, fucking hell, we're getting mortared.
And that's when I realised it was stun grenades. Special forces weapons. They're meant to disorientate, and they are very, very effective. I had to give myself a severe talking to. Get a grip of yourself, Norman.
It was a bit scary, I must admit.
We could hear screaming in the back of the Government House, and we all said to each other, "Oh, Christ, we hope that's not one of ours."
Outside it was chaos, full-on firefight. There were 3 injured Argentine Marines lying on the ground, but 8901 also knew that there was an Argentine sniper somewhere around, and they needed to draw him out.
That task would fall to Marine Jim Fairfield.
Fairfield, get up and run down so we can see where this gun's coming from. Legged it right the way across the other side of the garden. Did you see him? Nah, he'll have to run back. Bastard. So I legged it forward again. And they said, we got him.
While the gunfight raged around Government House, 3 Marines tasked with defending one of the approach roads to Stanley were confronted with something that would tilt the odds even further against the British defence.
We could hear the rumble of heavy engines, and we saw Amtraks coming down the road towards us. Armoured amphibious vehicles. It is a very serious piece of kit to take on. The other guys in the section were all opening up on it with rifle fire and General Purpose machine guns. I then fired a rocket at it. Nobody came out of that vehicle.
The arrival of the Amtraks changed the game completely. The Marines' strategy of resist and retreat no longer worked because they could be outrun. All the outlying sections of Naval Party 8901 could do now was somehow try and get back to defend the seat of government.
We headed off, jumping fences and heading through people's back gardens.
King Street, there's a post box there. I know Benny had the gun up on there and was firing down there. Every avenue that we tried to get back to Government House, we came under heavy fire. All I could do was hit the deck.
The original bullet holes are still in the fence. Look how close these came to his head. Can you imagine how terrifying this must have been?
Because the fighting was now in the town, local residents were in danger too.
How old were you in 82?
In 82, I was 12. And myself and my uncle, we actually went upstairs and we were watching the Marines. They were over the gardens, coming over the gardens, going through people's properties to get back to Government House. We heard ping, twack, you know, going through next door neighbour's roof. So we went downstairs and we laid on the floor behind a peat shed. Hopefully that would give us some kind of protection.
Were you aware at this stage then that 8901 were on the sharp end of all this?
Absolutely, absolutely.